To even start being considered to be a knight, you have to start as a squire. We start all of our guys in the stables first for 2 weeks to get comfortable with and familiar with the horses. From there, they come down, they shadow a squire that's already in the show. I select about 2 or 3 at a time, and then they go into, we call it like pipe training. And we teach them the basics of sword fighting with the pipes. Once we deem that you're physically fit enough to do this job safely, then we do this. We lunge you on his back. But you don't have reins, you don't have stirrups. You could even start out bareback, and you just put your arms out to the side. So it's all from ground up and from the basics and the fundamentals of how to stay safe while you're fighting. From that foundation, we build the excitement, speed, and power from there. Our weapons are more functional than they are pretty. You can buy pretty swords that we have in the sword shop and everything, but the ones that we use are very functional, just big hunks of metal to smash into each other. We like sparks in the show. With that being said, the way we create the sparks is when you hit 9 degrees on 9 degrees, it creates burrs, or like little divots in the sword. And when those little divots hit together, little burrs sticking out, when you hit that friction causes that spark, and so it blows up all nice and big.
Like small burrs, it's very hard to actually see, but you can feel them if you ran your hand across them, or if you were to get hit by the sword and then the sword pulled through, you'd be able to feel that, and it would catch the costume, tear at the costume. I got many scratches on my belt from being hit in the show, so we gotta take those off so that they're not razor blade sharp.
We do try to blend modern technology to make our jobs easier. So like you saw when we were grinding the weapons and everything, we're not using a little foot pedal thing that start grinding. That'll just take forever. It's really important to keep it symmetrical and one consistent long swoop of it, because it's very easy to put too much pressure at one point or too little pressure at one point. So then it's a delicate balance of not cutting too much off, so we still get sparks in the show, but keeping it safe.
We also don't want to take off the divots too deep. It would create a valley in the sword, and it would just compromise the integrity of the sword. And it would actually make it weaker, and then it would break in the show.
In medieval tournaments, since they weren't to the death, they weren't dulled, but they weren't sharpened at the edge, because the second you would hit edge on edge, you would ruin the swords. The swords were expensive, you know, so the weapons you would use in tournaments would be slightly flat like this. It is a real weapon. It's made out of titanium. You can hold it. It's nice and light. The only reason it is titanium is because it's a little lighter for us, so we can swing it, and the sparks look really nice and sharp. Their eyes not being able to adjust as quick, and especially how much the lights change here, that really is a testament to how much they trust us. That when things happen, like when plates fall, I mean, it's metal plate on metal plate, that's a loud noise. It sounds like a gunshot. They might jump because it's reactive. Oh, yeah, good boy.